welcome back to the House of Rahmas with our. This is quite possibly the greatest segment in podcast history.
Yeah.
The where there's a gay, there's a way segment of Under the Red Chandelier. So this is the time we both get to be in a chair. Usually when we're together, I'm in the chair.
Right.
And you're behind me.
And I'm having to do nothing right now.
I mean, some guys would be a little bit uncomfortable in that.
So, and you look good when you leave. So.
Hey, you know what?
And happy, satisfied.
And this is where the secret of where there's a gay, there's a way comes in. Mm-hmm. What's new? What's been going on here recently? What's kind of the
I think the world just went to shit for a week because everything has just been going crazy. And then someone sent me this picture about some sun shooting whatever those things are.
Is there more shootings?
No, like a sun, like the sun.
Solar flares and everything.
Yeah, whatever that is.
It's going to get hotter. I mean,
it's hot enough.
We get the heat. We were in Dubai and it was 105 degrees in Dubai.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
Then we went to Vegas. We were in Vegas and it was 111. Then we came back home here to Nashville and it was 101 and it was humid.
Yeah, that's where we get screwed with the humidity.
And then I just was down in Miami for meetings and it was 90, 95, but it was like really humid. And then you realize it's like, just give me the heat, just not the water. So it's the crazy part of what's going on in the world, whether you look at the politics of things, you look at the societal aspects and then the environment, almost like all of them are being manipulated.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So we got to hit on, some of the forgery aspect of life, of how, our upbringing, our environment, the things we're exposed to, things that happen to us are all, part of what makes us.
Right.
Right. And, you're, as you hit on before, some of your experiences are things that no one wants to experience, but like you said, that's what makes you.
Oh, 100%.
And, in today's world, people are afraid of having experiences that could actually work to forge them in any aspect. Yeah. Looking at where we are now in a society that doesn't like confrontation, that doesn't want to get outside of the box. How does one, because you have a certain set of skills and you have a talent of seeing, you do it from a design standpoint. I think it's the beautiful part of being an artist, right? Of figuring out how the artistic mind is then applied through the gifts that you have. Like for Dr. Rahm, I mean, she paints, she writes, she creates, molecules, and she's created different formulas.
I know nothing
and
about
she
that.
does, she's doing clothing and, designing clothes now and interior design for our homes. But her first interior decorator was you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right. And so how does that artistic process, when you, because you've helped us in our house, and you'll come in and you'll look at stuff and you just start moving things around and reorganizing, and you don't, if you're the one that's having it done, you're like, what in the hell are you doing? But then when it's done, you go, holy cow, this is amazing. But you also apply that from a hair design standpoint, from a makeup design standpoint, in men and women. Talk about that process a little bit in what you see, because it's a talent, but it's also a gift.
Well, I just think also, if you've asked me for my opinion, then you better be ready to get it.
You're going to get it.
Because I'm going to give it to you. And I'm not the end all. I mean, I'm sure that there are people that are way more amazing or whatever. But I think I also just kind of look at the person and then I just go with it. But now that's what I do. I look at what they look like and everything and what I think would look good, because sometimes people come in with these stupidest, I want to look like this. No, that's not going to fucking happen. I'm sorry.
It's like, that's not you.
I mean, I'll ask your opinion to make you feel included in the process, but in reality, I'm doing it. So
how much of that goes into with what you've been taught, right? But as we talked about, you understood some of your artistic gifts as a kid.
I used to take my allowance and redecorate my room, I don't know, twice a month. So I would buy pillows and there's no telling how many coats of paint are in that old bedroom. I mean, it's insane.
So having that talent, or having the eye, the gifts, and then learning on how to apply it more effectively, gives you some of the extra tools. But then being comfortable in being the artist and knowing that you're in control of the template, right? Whether it's a canvas, whether it's a room or a person.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the best way to put it from a design standpoint. Is it something that's been innate that knowing that if you're going to look at something, it's just this is the best way to do it, or has it been something that's grown with you?
Oh, it's definitely grown. Yeah, I think everything like changed. I mean, you get better and better.
And so not only design ideas, but how you've seen things, but then how to put different components together. How do you apply that into fashion? You can look at someone and go, okay, this is what's going to look best on you, because you're looking. When you look at somebody, I mean, you're seeing the shape of their face, the type of hair that they have. Are you also seeing from an energetic standpoint what someone, I guess you could say oracally, or what they're projecting is showing as well, to give you the path of getting to that point? Or do you see, when you see somebody and they come in, they sit in a chair, whether they're new or one of your existing clients, is somebody you look at, you're like, oh, this is how this is going to be?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I look at you, I just already, it's like, I mean, this is what needs to happen. And so most of the time, people that are smart, they just shut up and just say, you do you, because like I wouldn't go to, an attorney's office and tell him what to do. I mean, obviously he went to school for it, unless he's an idiot. Or I wouldn't go tell someone how to teach my kids and stuff. So, well, I don't have any kids, thank God. But I feel like, yeah, you should just walk in and just give me free reign. And hey, if you don't like it, it's not the end of the world.
It'll grow.
It's easy to change or something, as long as I don't burn it off, which I've never done that. But so you just have to trust the person. Right. I'm just damn good at what I do.
And that's the beautiful part, right? Of having the ability to surround yourself with people that have different talents and trusting the process.
Right.
Which is a lesson in life.
Yeah, for sure.
That's my entire business philosophy. People have asked me, and it's like, okay, why have you done this, or how have you done this? And actually, my first manufacturing company that I started, my investor was like, what's your management philosophy? And I was like, well, I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm not good at. And I'm going to find people that are better at the things I'm not good at, so I can look better and we can get stuff done. He's like,
exactly.
Yes.
100%.
I mean, that's pretty much it.
Yep. I will say this. I held back for so long in high school, and I just held back from like expressing myself and, and
being you.
I just think, I think people just don't need to do that. Just don't hold back. Just do it.
We're coming into that world where, the self-expression aspect, in social media is really giving people an outlet in many aspects of being an idiot in some aspects, but it gives them an opportunity to present their authentic selves. But the other side
sometimes
is,
I don't want to see your authentic self because you look like a fucking idiot. I'm sorry.
It's like, actually filter that a little bit.
I think we probably just block that one and.
But you have the opportunity for people to just put stuff out there, whether. But you have the component of people then not presenting who they really are and being even more fake, versus those trying to be authentic and just own stuff. But it goes to the point of like, and I try to tell people this: if you're douchey, be douchey. If you're cool, be cool.
Exactly.
Just be you, because there's a market for all of it.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
So
don't be stupid.
And as a wise man once said, you can't fix stupid. But you can fix dumb.
You can't.
Dumb can learn. Stupid is.
Isn't dumb and stupid kind of on the same train?
Here's something that is thought process in this. We can dive in this because I haven't had a chance to get in this, and you can incorporate AI into this as well. But there's a difference between being stupid, being an idiot, and being dumb. And there's a difference between being smart, being intelligent, and being a savant.
What is a savant?
That's
I look
Christina.
Like the dumb blonde.
She's actually an idiot savant. So she has a level of intelligence that's beyond us. But what they learned at Johns Hopkins,
I can't float on that.
Yeah, she's an idiot savant, but she's social. So like Rain Man. Okay. Right, Rain Man was an idiot savant, but he had no semblance of social scope, because usually you have people that function on an intellectual level, so they're so high that they can't function in society. She's the anomaly that she's actually both, which is what allows her to do what she does, because she has an eidetic memory. So anything that she's saying, she's seen, she's read, she's heard. If she's in a room and people are talking, she's basically recording everything going on in the room and can replay it.
Lord, I'm definitely not.
But then you have people, if we look at, smart and intelligent, right? There's a lot of smart people
that are not
that have degrees
smart, number one,
that are dumb as all get out.
Yeah.
right? And intelligent people that aren't smart because they don't have the education, but they can solve damn near anything. And then so you have smart, dumb people. You have, you have sometimes intelligent idiots. You have idiot savants. So you've got this blend of all of them, and it's kind of identifying where we fit in it.
Right.
And knowing that also it's kind of a sliding scale. It's like, you're a freaking idiot, but you can be an idiot. But you can also, find the areas that you're smart. And I think this is the important part of being able to know your talent.
Right.
Find your talent.
Yeah. And do it.
Own it and do it.
Yeah.
And whatever that is.
Be good at it, though.
Yeah. Own it. And apply it.
Because if you're not, go find another one. Just move on.
And if it doesn't drive you, if it doesn't motivate you, if you don't have fun doing it, don't do it.
Well, sometimes I don't have fun doing it. Sometimes I just want to cut a bitch in half. But, I just think, oh, well, maybe the next one it'll be great or fine or whatever. So, yeah, I think sometimes you don't like what you do sometimes.
Yeah, and you just...
But not to the point where I would want to ever stop it.
They're going to quit. It's not to the point where you're going to quit, but you get to go home and go...
No, because if I cut a bitch, I'd probably go to jail.
Yeah. Under the right pretenses.
Well, yeah, and I know a lot of attorneys, so I guess I could probably...
You can get away with it.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, she's medicated, so...
The beautiful part of the process now is like, oh, I did this. I can explain it away.
Oh, I can talk my way out of a hole.
Shit, here's the story for you that you'll be able to apply and you'll appreciate this. Because we were talking before about the identification issues and all this bullshit with the transgenderism and everything. So right after we did that, Christina and I, we went to dinner, so we're going down for sushi in downtown. We had a friend coming with us for dinner. So I go in with our friend to get our seats, and I've got my jeans on, and I'm wearing a jacket, and I got my summer attire, which is always flip-flops, because it's freaking hot here in Nashville. So I got my flip-flops on.
Right.
My Louis Vuitton flip-flops.
Okay.
Go in the restaurant.
Say that.
Bougie. I'm bougie, right? So I get into the restaurant. We get to our table. They walk us to our table, and the maitre d' comes over, and he's like, I just need to let you know that we changed the rules, and we don't allow flip-flops in the restaurant now. And I looked at him, and I'm like, well, these flip-flops are more expensive than anyone else's shoes in here. One. But two, the woman sitting right over there is wearing open-toed sandals as well. And he looked at me, he's like, well, it's okay for women to wear them, but not for men. So I immediately looked at him.
Oh, God, it's a good thing I wasn't there.
I immediately looked at him and I said, well, I identify as a woman right now.
That's what...
And he stopped and he looked at me. He's like, oh, shit, I got nothing. And he turned and walked away. I'm like,
exactly.
You know what? We're going to use it. We're going to use it as we got it.
Oh, I love that.
And it was one of those, and our friend who was standing next to me, she's like, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
That was good.
I'm like, guess what? This is what we got. If this is going to be the rule,
that was good.
This is how it's going to be.
That was good.
And it was funny because he just went, oh.
Yeah, because he can't say nothing.
I'm like,
he says something. I mean,
yeah, it's like, oh, wait a minute.
We're gonna start marching.
Yep, here it comes. I'm gonna go get the flag out of the trunk. It's gonna be on like Donkey Kong.
Yep, for sure. T-shirts and everything.
The other side of that, we were in Poland because Dr. Rahm was speaking at a Women in Science event, Women in Science and Technology in Warsaw, Poland. And so it's pretty much all women. And it was, Amazon had a big thing there. Microsoft had a big thing there. They're promoting, science and technology and women, which means with those companies being there, it was all about, intermixing. And so the men's bathrooms were bisexual, is open for everybody, right? So I got to take a leak. So I go to the restrooms. I got the men's and women's, but the men's is now both. And so I walk into the men's bathroom, walk by a couple women, and they're looking at me, and I'm like, what? And what got me is they had the, urinals like you have in a normal bathroom, and then they had the toilets that have the doors on them, and the urinals had ferns in them.
I'm sorry, what?
A fern, like a plant. Like
for
this,
what?
Only a fern. And this was what got me. I'm like, so I go up to the urinal.
Fern Gully?
I walked to the end. I walked to the last urinal on the end so as not to offend the women. And I just was looking at this, I think as most men would do, and I'm like, oh, you gave me a target. I'm like, so I'm just peeing on the fern. And my first thought was, whoever's going to pull these out is going to have an interesting experience.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm like, hold on, did you do this as a deterrent? Because your method is not working. But it was
Wait, does the girl just squat right next to you?
No, they were using the toilets, and they were all washing their hands, and they're turning around snickering.
You got to pee in the weeds?
Yeah, and well, either that or you go use the toilet. And I'm like, I don't need to use one of those when the urinals are right here, so I'm just going to pee on the fern.
Strange. This is very weird to me, but
it was the funny part because the women were looking at me like there was something wrong, and so I'm finished peeing on the fern, and then went and washed my hands.
You shouldn't even have stood in front of it. You should have just pulled your leg up and stood there and hiked it.
Lift a leg and
just lift.
It's like, look, I identify as a dog right now.
Yeah, and then kicked as you walked away.
Just scratch a little bit. But it's the funny part of the inclusive aspect that people are trying to have, but they don't want all of the chaos that comes with inclusivity, right? Of the chaos. It's like, we want the benefits, but we don't want the chaos.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's like,
sometimes just shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
like, just stop talking.
But we get to play the game, right?
It's entertaining. It's exhausting, but it's entertaining.
It is, but now, if we want to play, as all the chaos ensues, you can pull out their playbook to have fun with it, and that was the funniest thing. I'm gonna try to figure out ways of doing this more often, because being able to just throw out there, it's like, well, I identify as being a woman.
I love that. I'm going to use that.
Yeah, you have to. What we have to start doing. This is a challenge. If you're watching this, figure out how you can fit this into your daily life. Once a week, just be able to throw that shit out.
This is probably not. Well, the offended people get on my nerves, anyways. But I have went into Walgreens so many times, and I'm literally standing at the register paying, and I'm this close to the cashier, and the woman goes, "Oh, well, thank you, ma'am," and I'm like, what? I have a goatee. Like, what do you mean? So then I take it as like a compliment. I'm like, if I'm pretty enough to be a girl,
it's like,
oh, thank you.
Then out. This is working.
So
it's like, wait a minute. Do I need to do some more push-ups? Where are we going with this? Do we need to fight?
No, I'm not doing those anyways. That's not happening. That's not happening at all.
It's like, does my skin look that good?
Yeah, I thought, Lord, I need to take a selfie right now or something because I'm beautiful. So.
But Kreider and I were just in Miami, and when we got down there the other night, he got to choose dinner. So this is the last time he gets to choose dinner when we travel, because his choice was to go to Waffle House.
Oh, hell no.
And he's like, we're going to Waffle. I'm like, oh, God.
They don't have anything there.
No, they don't. It hurt. But our server, because I wasn't paying great attention, but our server had makeup on and everything, and her lipstick done. And we were a little bit wary of how the food was prepped.
You were at Waffle House.
Exactly.
That was already weary.
And the water tasted like sewage.
Oh, it probably came out of the toilet.
Right. It might have been cleaner if it was out of the toilet because it was bad.
Well.
But then when we were leaving, I gave our server a really good tip because we were the only one in there, and that was kind of crazy. And then Kreider's like, I was a dude, right?
Did it have an Adam's apple? See, that would have been my first look.
He being younger was paying closer attention, but he's like, I've had to learn, to be determinant in identifying these things. I was like, man, they live in a different world than we do now. Like, we could go out before, and a woman was a woman and a guy was a guy.
Exactly, for sure.
Now, it's like...
Well, I went to the Barbie movie with my girlfriend, Sydney, and we're sitting there, and all of a sudden I noticed her, like, she's pregnant also. I noticed her, like, lean up, and she's getting so close to stare, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? She goes, that's a guy. I was like, no way. Oh, I was pissed. I'm like, really? The Barbie? And then the fat Barbie. Why do we have to have a fat Barbie? Just leave it alone. Leave shit alone. Just leave stuff alone.
At what point do we try to put toxicity?
You're making the world toxic by making it a thing.
As making
just let it go.
Issue.
It's not that you're not beautiful, but just leave Barbie alone. Leave Beauty and the Beast alone. Leave all these. I'm not even going to say what I was going to say, but but she was like, oh my God, that's a dude, and it sounded like it had an Adam's apple.
You go.
It was also ugly too.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do it all the way.
Yeah, go in.
Make yourself like real pretty.
We get to the point now. Like we had to take the Audi dog to the vet, and because she had failed to thrive. So it was actually the day before she died. We're like 0 for 2 for dogs now in the last couple of months. It's terrible. But I went to the veterinary clinic and, dropped her off. And the person that was checking me in, can't remember the name. I think it was Leslie. I can't remember. We'll keep names silent to protect the guilty and the innocent. But I couldn't tell if it was a transitioning female into male or a transitioning male into female, because it was right at the bridge where she's really overweight, had long, really straight, oily hair, but had a beard. Oh yeah, you would have loved it. You're like, oh no, we've got work to do. But you had a lot of female traits, but then facial hair, a really bad growth of facial hair, and you go, I don't know how to address you, and yeah.
Hey,
and how do you do that now?
You can't. You say too much, you get crucified.
Yeah. And you're like, well, I identify as being someone that is insensitive. So therefore, we have carte blanche. What can they say to that? It's like, well, you hurt my feelings, and you said people taking offense. The one thing that I've learned,
I can't stand offended people.
Right, but
here's
the beautiful part, of the Karens and everything, and people that are offended. That if someone's offended by anything you're saying or doing, it's actually kind of a good thing, because that means they're paying attention.
Keeps you relevant, number one.
You're relevant, and they're paying attention. So you can actually have more influence with the haters than you do with fans, because they're the ones paying the closest attention.
No, that's definitely true.
And applying that. So within the space, because your salon is amongst 6 or 7 other artists, right?
Oh, but there's 20.
So within the space, right? So you have all different kinds of style. From what I've seen and what I've learned, from a style standpoint, or you have people that cut hair, right? You can go use a Flowbee, or my mom cut my hair, or you can go to what's the sport clips and shit like that,
no, don't do
and
that.
Someone can cut your hair.
Oh yeah.
And then you have artists that know how to design everything.
Exactly.
But so within that breadth and that community, what's it like going to events or talking with people? Is there bickeriness? Is there is there the battles that you get inside the art form that you see in other areas, where people looking at, oh my God, you're or here in Nashville is a great example, right? Because it's so cliquey that if you have a client that's coming to see you and you're doing stuff, but someone else used to cut her hair, or his hair, do you guys see a bunch of that shit where people are like, oh my God, what did you do? Why did you go see him?
That's why you don't do that. Because when someone sits down and their hair is just fucked, you don't really ask, like, well, who used to do it? And then you don't go off and talking about that, because honestly,
it's going to come around.
If you're talking about this other person that did, then you're making me, like, if I'm the client, I look like I'm stupid because I went to this person. And second of all, it's kind of tacky.
Right, a little bit.
Just shut the fuck. Just fix whatever it is and go about your day. But don't talk bad about another stylist.
But that's kind of
really
the point of life,
ones,
right?
But
and some you have that range. Some people have skills, some people don't.
Oh, they definitely think they have skills and they don't have skills. They just play it off like they do, but they don't.
But then that being translated into life of go about your business, don't talk shit about everyone else, because eventually that shit's going to come back on you.
Oh, for 100%. Absolutely.
So we can look at Marty's style, and initially...
Well, I like him, though,
I know. Marty got the greatest compliment I think he's ever had before from someone, and you gave it to him when you said...
I thought he was gay.
Yeah, exactly. He was like, I've arrived.
Hey, that's like a compliment. That really is a compliment. But I guess you could also think there's some gay people that are really unfortunate looking. Well, there really definitely is.
But there's a lot of straight people that are
in my opinion, though, because I have a very high... Yeah, I'm not going to say that it, no.
If it doesn't look good,
that's on a different level. Yeah, that's for sure. Like maybe some, unfortunate looking little twink or something says, oh, well, I thought you were gay. Well, then I would not like that for you. I would really hate that for you. Or one that had greasy hair. Go ahead.
No, that's the worst.
Oh, I can't deal with that. You fry eggs on their scalp.
So I didn't watch the Barbie movie.
Oh, it was amazing. Even if you don't even like Barbie.
Was it because Ryan Gosling and...
No, it wasn't even that. It was a really good... The only thing I did not like was the fact that she had to go to the real world and her feet went flat.
What?
Barbie's feet are not flat.
No, Barbie has some of the biggest arches ever.
Well, no. When she goes to the real world, it has to go flat.
Why?
Well, the crazy Barbie, which I did order her, she should be here soon. She gives her an option of a stiletto and a Birkenstock. And Barbie's like, no, I'll take the stiletto or whatever. And the crazy Barbie's like, no. Because the crazy Barbie is the one that you cut all of her hair off, you highlighted or drew all over. Yeah. I mean, I had plenty of them. And so she has to wear the Birkenstock. Well, her foot has to go flat. When it does, Barbie falls over because she's not used to that. But I will say this Birkenstock made $8 billion over that.
No shit?
Oh, for sure. And every box office made like $1 billion. Oh, yeah. Barbie made... Margot Robbie made... I mean, and I've never...
And she crushed it.
Well, that's the thing. See, when they casted her, they were like... I was like, I don't like her. I don't even know who she is. Then I watched the movie. Love her. I think she did an amazing job because someone said, well, who would you have cast? I was like, the two people I would have cast are dead.
Yep.
Marilyn Monroe or Anna Nicole Smith in her guest model days. Other than that, but neither one of them could act. Yeah. Neither one of those two can act.
Yep.
But Margot Robbie did an amazing job, and just get the fat Barbie out of there.
Yeah, no, that's true. The interesting part with feet, I had a friend, one of our friends, that she was a model. She's like 6'1". And I got to give a shout out to Eric Pike because it was his ex-girlfriend. But her feet were like this with her arches.
Oh, wow.
But when she'd stand on them, they go, whoop, they flatten out. So your arches actually, you can have arches, but the hard part with a toy is you can't get it to spread out. But people can have like crazy arches, and once they put pressure on their feet, they spread out. But they're, the tension in their arches and, gives you some springiness. Yeah. But yeah, who wants flat feet? But the crazy part is, Barbie. I won't say the conspiracy theory side because most of this has been proven to be true. But when they clone a human being, like the original can have arched feet, but clones will always have flat feet. So when she went from the artificial world to then being cloned into the human world, she had flat feet. Yeah, Barbie Land. And that whoever did that, they paid attention to detail because that one of those sections where she got up out of the bed and she put her heels off and her foot stayed straight up. I was like, okay, they did really good because I was just waiting for them to fuck that up. Yeah, and it didn't happen. That's funny. Yeah, that's a really good movie, even if you don't even like Barbie. I mean, if you were our age, right, and growing up as a boy. Growing up, and I had my sister 6 years younger than me, I was always around Barbies. Yeah. And I was around Barbie and not Ken. But it was something that we grew up with. So anyways. Yeah, just a little bit. No, there was an article, I have it. It was in People where Barbie left for Blaine. Blaine is the one that Barbie cheated on. Well, left Ken for, but then they got back together because Ken was gay. I've never seen a Blaine, but I have all of the clippings from People laminated and everything when it came out. And I was like, what? It's like, no. But I've never even seen a Blaine. Oh, and then the gay Ken is in the movie too. Earring, magic. I have both of them. I have the Ken and the Barbie because he has an earring and there was a big conspiracy about, he's the gay Ken. Well, yeah. It's like, there you go. You needed to put an earring on to say. It's like he's Ken. Yeah. He's already gay. Let it go. George Michael called, wants the earring and gay Ken. Oh, yes. Do you know how many times in the winter, whenever I'm wearing a leather jacket, that I get mistaken for him? I'm going to start charging people for pictures. You grow out the shadow a little bit, put on the sunglasses on, and my hair's already back, put a leather jacket on. People think I'm George Michael. I'm like, oh my God, really? I mean, he was hot, though, so. It's like, I'll take it. There you go. Whatever. It's like, hey, you know what? We're in the Bible Belt. You got to have faith. Oh. Yeah, I probably don't. I mean, yeah. Faith that I don't the hypocrisy knock the shit out of somebody that goes into that term. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we get to wrap up. What's the takeaway? We have to do insights from what should we call the ending segments of the insights that we can give because we've got Under the Red Chandelier. Should we call this coming out of the closet? I came out of the closet when I was 18. The closet. What was that? What was that like? So this is the last part. You don't even want to know where I was sitting. I was sitting at Applebee's with my mom. Hold on. What were you having? Were you having like the milkshake? I don't know, but I was drinking the Diet Coke. Yeah.
Of course I was.
That shit hasn't
drink
changed.
a regular one. I mean, no, hell no. No, that was good. And well, no, that's a Sandy. That's
so what kind of trepidation? What kind of trepidation did you have? Thinking,
I don't even know what the definition of that word is.
Were you nervous about talking to your mom about being gay?
But all I had to do was say that one line. Mom, I have something to tell you, and she was like, I already know. And then we just went on about our dinner.
You're like, okay.
I mean, she ended up with 3 of us. So
were you the oldest?
I am the oldest. Yeah.
So
there's 2 more of us.
She's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I got the first one. I already know. And because moms know.
Oh, even if you're a stepmom or you're like, even if you didn't give birth to the child, girls like mothers, they just know.
Yeah.
It is what it is. And I think that's amazing.
Did she look at you and she'd be like, son, you've been decorating your fucking room for years.
Yeah. And she also probably thought, thank God I'm not going to have any ugly kids. This one's going to stay pretty forever.
It's like, this is going to be good.
I'm not going to invite that. Yeah. I mean, she's blessed. My youngest baby brother's a makeup artist, and my middle brother's a really good cook. So she has hair, makeup, and a great meal.
Kind of hard.
God, that sounds like helping a homeless person or something. Anyway. But no, and Karen loves that. She doesn't like that part that her name's
Hold
Karen.
on, your mom's a Karen now?
Oh, yeah. Her name's Karen. Literally.
So how... who was talking about... Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan was just talking about it with an interview with Post Malone. And they were talking about, being named Karen and how that's probably a name that is now lost on society for at least a generation, for probably a generation.
It hasn't left yet.
Right? That new moms now have the top 5 list of names that they're not going to name their child. Uh-huh. Karen's probably number 1.
Yeah.
Right. But the Dane Cook, and it was interesting because they were like, man, I don't know where this came from. It was Dane Cook that actually kind of coined it
wow.
and started it because...
My mom wouldn't be happy about him. She would not like that.
He has a bit that he talked about being Karen, and every friend group has a Karen, and this was like 10, 15 years ago, and now you take what he had, right, of the bit, and you apply it into society now and go, shit, he foreshadowed that deal kind of perfectly.
I hope he's getting paid for that because he's going to make a lot of damn money off of it. I
mean, how do you contest getting royalties on something that then becomes the norm?
I don't know, but I think it's going to change soon. And I think the new one is going to be Linda.
Oh, you know what? There's
sounds like a bitch.
Listen, Linda.
Yeah.
the little
that,
kids.
Or
Listen,
like
Linda.
One of those cans, a Sandy. No, Sandy sounds dumb. A Debbie.
Debbie Downer. Debbie's not doing shit anymore.
Debbie.
Yeah, I think those are gone.
Yeah.
I mean, now people are coming up with just unique names, which has been something that's been done in different cultures for a long time, right? Because, my Black Irish roots, the further you go in the South, you can find different names for people. I had one of my buddies that was down in Atlanta, and he was going to Chick-fil-A, and he's at the counter, and the girl is helping him. He's looking at her name tag. And he's like, can you pronounce your name for me? And she's like, yeah, my name is Shathid. And he's like, can you say that again? It's Shathid. He's like,
Shathid?
We have a different way of translating that. It's Shithhead. Did your mom not like you? It's like, who names their kid shithead?
I don't know. Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry. Okay.
And you go, what the hell? Someone took the... I was like, look, you didn't change your name to that. That's your given name.
Oh, my God, that poor thing.
It's like, you're one of those where your mom goes, this little bastard. Mm-hmm. And you go, you know what? You're going to remember me. It's like, you might want to think about changing your name.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So it's unique. Yes, you have
unique. Well... Yeah, it's something.
But yeah, those are the fun things you get to own and you get to have fun with.
Well, yeah, I mean, I go by my last name. I've went by my last name since I was 17. So my first name sucks. It sounds like someone that works at Co-op and sells birdseed. So I'm pretty sure I don't look like that.
But you grew up in the country.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you go, okay, that's part of it.
That was fine then, but not anymore.
But your mom's also a Karen, so she fucked you from the get-go.
Yeah, which means she's getting fucked now because she's a Karen. I hate that for her in her life.
Own it, Mom.
Oh, yeah. I told her, I said, now, see, this is what you're getting because you named me what I did not like. Well, it was after your dad. I said, the asshole? No, Now you're getting paid back.
It's like, there you go.
Karen.
See, and this is
Debbie.
what happens when
Linda.
Linda.
Sandy.
Out of the closet.
Yeah, done.